Thank you very much, Gabriel. Gabriel's far too modest to say this, but he actually has a PhD in attribution, and if that isn't sexy, I don't know what is. Key takeouts for me there: attribution, a lot more simple than perhaps you thought originally. I mean, that was the most simple it's ever sounded to me. We've got tools that can analyse the data, so let's chat, and most importantly, test some different attribution models. And I think we need to do that on a sort of a client by client, an individual basis to really get the most out of attribution. Now, once you've got that data, then the obvious thing to do is start to plug that into your bid management tools and start to understand how different ways of measuring CPA will actually have a different effect on the efficiency of your campaigns. So really good interlude or segue into Tushar Balsara, who is now going to take us through bid management tools. Thank you.
Cheers, Matt. Cool. Thanks, guys. So today we spoke a lot about how the landscape's getting more complicated and we need help to navigate that landscape, and therefore that's where effectively tools come into play. Today we're going to focus specifically on bid management, and we're going to talk about why bid management is kind of important for you and your business. So why are we here today? Why is bid management? It's three key things: time, money, conversions. And the good news is that there are advertisers out there who are achieving these kind of numbers. So, saving time, you can use that time to do better things elsewhere. Focus on developing your account. Money, conversions, that's what we're all in the business for. So today I'm going to focus on three key things. One is why you need to automate your bids. I'm going to do a deep dive into kind of single versus multi-dimension bid management so you can understand what the difference is, why it's important, how you can get incremental benefits. And we'll look at a bid tuning framework which looks at what you need to do to get the most out of your bids. So what is the objectives of bid management? So you guys have profit goals, yield goals that you're really ultimately wanting to achieve. Bid management is about ensuring that the keywords that you're buying in your account are at the right price in order to make sure you're getting the most conversions and your ROI. So the two things that influence the price are conversions and ROI. So the name of the game is really volume versus efficiency. How much can I get? How cheap can I get it? And across your whole keyword base in a keyword bank, you're trying to identify which keywords you need to prioritize to get you the most volume as cheaply as possible. So why do you need to automate your bids? So campaigns are getting more sophisticated. They're getting more complicated. It's not uncommon to have keywords campaigns of in the tens and hundreds of thousands of keywords. So if you're managing your bids manually, and a lot of clients are there, and a lot of are looking at Excel sheets, etc., you're not really going to be able to get the efficiencies that you would really want to get from your campaign. You're going to have people in your team who are going to look like that, who are going to come to you and say, I can't really get out that much. I can't do that much for you. But more importantly, you kind of lose control of your campaign. You get overwhelmed. So you need to use a tool to help you get organized. So you understand the right levers that you can influence to get more conversions and better ROI. So you can then save your time not on the beach, but to cut out your admin, invest your time in the right places, and get more for your campaigns. Focus on strategy. Focus on taking it forward. So at Google, we fundamentally believe that the more we help you improve your ROI, the more you reinvest in Google. And so we've got a number of different tools out there to help you manage your bids and help you manage your campaigns at scale. So we've got the AdWords Conversion Optimizer, which sits within AdWords. So if you spend a lot of your money within AdWords, it's a free tool out there. You can set your CPA targets and you can set your goals, and then it helps you work to get the most out of your campaign. If you're running campaigns across multiple digital channels, across display, affiliates, email, etc., we've got our DoubleClick platform, which helps you manage your campaign centrally. So DoubleClick Search is part of that platform, which helps you manage your campaigns in line with with everything else you're doing. And we've got the AdWords API, which is used by advertisers who want to have a deep integration with their business and the campaign. So typically it's used for where advertisers have got thousands and thousands of different products. Those prices are changing every day. The success of their campaign really determines whether they've got their products are in stock or not in stock, etc. So advertisers, you will use the API to get that deep integration to do that. A lot of the tools are free. DoubleClick Search starts at 2.5% depending on your spend, and it gets cheaper as you spend more. So you have the tools out there to make a difference and actually help you save time. So you're probably thinking, great, okay, I'm going to get the right tool. I'm going to walk out of here, which means I'm probably going to save loads of time, which probably means I can cut my team by half. Doesn't work that way. You still need people to manage your campaign. In the same way you've got autopilot on the plane, you have a pilot who's navigating the plane, making sure the plane's in control, it's got the right levers are in place. In the same way, you need people to manage these tools to get the most out of these tools, to stay in control. So what you should really be doing is let the tool run, give the tool some time, but have a dashboard so you can stay in control and make sure the tool is doing the right things and moving in the right direction. So the key takeaway really is automate your bids. So moving into single versus multi-dimensional bid management. So let's understand this a bit more. So you've got two keywords, Google T-shirt, Google merchandise. They're both driving clicks. Google T-shirts, the clicks are leading to more conversions, hence the dollar signs. Whereas Google merchandise is actually not leading to that many conversions, hence across. So if you were to make a very simple bid management decision, you'd say, hey, Google T-shirt is working really well for me. It's under my target. I need to increase my bids. And you'd increase your bids. And on the flip side, you'd say Google merchandise is not actually working that well. It's not hitting my target. I'm gonna drop my bids. So this is one-dimensional bid management. This is what you would do if you're manually analyzing your campaigns. This is also what a lot of the third-party tools would do when they're kind of managing your campaigns at scale. Multi-dimension bid management says, okay, hey, Google merchandise is not working as well. Let's try actually understand of those 100 clicks that I'm driving for Google merchandise. Some are converting, some are not converting. Can I actually, are there any trends with the clicks that are converting and are not converting? And can I actually buy just the clicks that I want, which are leading to a conversion? So that's what multi-dimensional bid management does. Is it kind of looks at the traffic in the auction and says, okay, let me understand the pattern. So typically, to give you an example, you might see that there's a lot of traffic from coming from Scotland for Google merchandise, whereas there's a lot of traffic coming from London as well. And for some reason, people in London are buying more, but people in Scotland are not buying Google merchandise. So you can look at that as a dimension and say, okay, I don't want that traffic, that's not work efficiently. So multi-dimensional bid management looks at multiple different dimensions. It looks at the user data, the query, geography, time of day, day of week, etc. So let's look at how it works a bit more in detail. So ultimately, what you're there to do is identify that right CPC for that right keyword. And that's affected by your third-party software. You're making decisions, and you're making decisions based on things like lifetime value, your profit goals, your revenue, your costs, attribution if you're reworking your keywords. And then in Google, we've got a feature called Enhanced CPC, which helps you utilize the multi-dimension aspects, and it lets you influence things that you can't necessarily influence with your third-party tools or your bids. So let's take an example. So we've got our search partners. So Google doesn't provide ads only on Google.com. We provide ads on AOL, on Ask Jeeves, etc. But we don't give you the flexibility to change bids across all these different partners. So what Enhanced CPC will do is it'll say, okay, hey, let me understand the traffic coming in from AOL. Let me understand the traffic coming in from Ask Jeeves. And if it's actually not working that well for me, then I'll drop my bids in the auction for that, and vice versa. Similarly, your search queries, so if you've got a lot of broad match keywords, those keywords are being matched across a number of things. You've got a great agency, they're doing a good job of looking at the negative keywords, filtering your campaigns, making sure it's working as hard as possible, but they can't, there's only so much that they can do. So what Enhanced CPC or multi-dimensional bid management will do is look at, okay, hey, I'm getting a lot of traffic from this broad match keyword. Is that leading to, what's the probability of that to convert? Is it converting, or is it driving loads of clicks and not actually converting? And the system will automatically drop your CPCs or increase your CPCs accordingly. Similarly, it looks at tons and tons of other features. So your browser, your operating system, geography, language, etc. And all that actually can make a difference in terms of whether something's going to lead to a conversion. So it really looks at the probability of conversion and decides whether they're going to work. So What we recommend and what we say is best practices, you need to work these two things together. It's as simple as flicking a switch on your campaign to turn on enhanced CPC, and it works in complementary with third-party tools or if you're manually bidding. But we see often people don't really understand it and they're not really making use of it. And we can see that this actually drives loads of value in terms of improving your conversions and dropping a CPA. So when you go back, activate enhanced CPC on your campaign. So we'll just look at a case example of where it's worked. So read.co.uk is a job website. They've got a very large keyword bank from long tail keywords to generic keywords. They've got a lot of job titles that they're advertising on, and that varies by city and sector. And they've got different targets because each job is worth different values to them. So they were managing these campaigns, at scale. They were taking, they had 3 people in their team taking out data in Excel, analyzing these campaigns and making decisions. And as the campaigns grew and they were getting better results, they realized actually I need another 3 people and I need another 2 people. And it came to a point where it was inefficient to actually get more people because then they were losing out. So they decided to use Conversion Optimizer, AdWords Conversion Optimizer. They identified their campaign, structured it in the right way, good ad groups, good campaigns, and set specific targets for each of those different business sectors, and they let the tool do its job. And what they realized was actually they didn't need as many people. They saved about 30% of time. Their effective CPCs dropped significantly because of all the different factors and features that we spoke about, and they got a 200% uplift in conversion. So they were absolutely thrilled. So there's value in kind of automating your bids and automating your bid decisions. So moving into the last section, which is the bid tuning framework. And the bid tuning framework basically says you need to be doing 4 things to make sure your campaigns are working as hard as possible. So firstly are you getting the fundamentals right? Are you maximizing the basics of your campaigns? The fundamentals are the foundation of success for your campaign. So if you've not really got the good ad groups, good negative keywords, etc., the traffic that you're going to drive is not, the tool's not going to be able to make a good decision because they're not getting good quality data coming through. So it's a 1 + 1 = 3 effect. You need to have a good foundation plus a good tool, and that ultimately you get the best results. We've spoken about the importance of automation. You can automate many other things. You can automate your creative optimization. You can automate your processes. So really, think about all the different things that you can automate, save yourself time, but ultimately, that affects how much you pay as well. Experiment. You need to get the most out of search campaigns, to grow your business, to find new conversions. You need to test. You need to experiment, because if you don't test and you don't experiment, you're not really going to be able to change your bids. Test higher positions, see if actually higher positions actually work for you. So you need to think about having a separate experimentation strategy, separate out separate test budget, and actually let your agency test new keywords all the time to grow and test in a controlled environment. Unlocking your campaign. So this really looks at we've spoken about the full value of search. Ultimately, your bid price is based on your target CPA. So how can you unlock your campaign to make sure you can bid higher and bid price? So typically, if you're a retail client, you're looking at ROI based on how many things you've sold online. But are you selling brochure requests? Is your click traffic generating brochure requests? Does that have any value to you? Are you including that as part of your CPA target? So think about your CPA targets. Every advertiser says they're in the business of getting the most ROI from their search campaigns, but then they'll have TV campaigns running at £200 and they'll have a search campaign running at £50. If you really want to get the most out of search, set the appropriate targets, make it a level playing field for you to really get that incremental volume as profitably as possible. Gabriel spoke about automation. All that analysis is great, but ultimately you want to change bids, and you need to effectively manage that and automate that. So you need to unlock that value. Similarly, we're going to talk about ROPO and things like online to store, but more importantly, call center traffic. So if you're getting lots of calls to your call center, how are you influencing that as part of your bid strategy? Similarly, web analytics data. If you're getting a lot of clicks to your key campaign, and you can see that you're getting 100 clicks and not actually converting, but you're looking at your web analytics and it's telling you that you've got a 90% bounce rate. What is that telling you? That's probably telling you that this keyword's not really driving the right traffic, so you cannot actually bid on it. Similarly, if you're getting 100 clicks, but you're getting a 90% new visitor rate, then that's telling you that actually there's probably more in it, and you can do it. So you need to think about all these things and actually think about how you bring it into your bid management strategy. And that will ultimately influence how many conversions you get, and therefore how much you can pay for those conversions. We don't see too many people doing all of these things as much as they can. So there's definitely room to grow. And when you do these things, again, it's all about time, money, and conversions, and you can get some great results. So that's me. Thank you.